All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Heat number one. Austin Thornton, Vern Spring on the front row. Brian Hewitt, Brandon Murphy on the second row. Ryan McDaniel, Matt Moniak on the third. Cody Kennedy, David Lux on the fourth. Chris Johnson and Kyle McRecken Martin round out the field for Heat 1. Hey, good evening, Silver. How are you, buddy? Looks like Austin Thornton will be going to the back. That'll move Brian Hewitt up to the front row. I got you. One more time. Looks like there were some problems on that first pace lap. Everybody settled in though. Here we go. Into 3 and 4. Pace car will drop in. Brian Hewitt out front. Green flag in the air for Heat 1 at Hickory. And already some bumping mid-pack. Cody Kennedy, Matt Moniak banging off each other. Hewitt and Vern dead even. Vern pulls ahead into turn 1. A lot of sliding. Oh! Brandon Murphy slid up the track. Moniak tried to go up the middle. A big stack up into 3. Hewitt managing, oh no, Hewitt's loose. Cody Kennedy made it through. David Lux made it through. It's a 3-car battle out front. Austin Thornton made it through, now into 4th. Several cars going to pit road. Remember, no cautions during the heats. Oh! Vern gets a big bump from Lux and goes around. Lux now looks to the inside on Kennedy. That high line has been the place to be. Can he make it work? Cody gets a big run out of 4. 3 to go. And a little bit of banging mid-turn. They are leaning on each other all the way around here. There was a car buried in the pit wall. 2 laps to go, still battling for the lead. The only 2 left in contention. Cody Kennedy pulls ahead. White flag one more time around. Down the back straightaway, Lux has nothing left. Cody Kennedy will win heat number 1. David Lux comes home second. Chris Johnson fought his way up to 3rd. On to heat number 2. Becky Snodgrass, Brad Roning on the front row. Kirk Marble and Russell Worth on the second. Scott Snodgrass, Dakota Wilson on the third. Andrew Thornton and Edmund Jones on the 4th row. Richie Joplin rounds out the field for heat 2. Silver, you make a really good point. I've never actually paid attention to see how fast they're going here at Hickory, but let's find out. Are they able to get to triple digits on the back or front straightaway? Lights are out. Pace car gonna drop in. Heat number 2. Don't forget, right after Heat 2, we will go straight to the feature event for the night. Pace car is in. Becky leads them around. Green flag is in the air. And already Kirk looked up the middle. Russell Worth on the attack. Becky pushes up and 1. Kirk Marble on the attack down below. And now Russell into second. They are 3 wide mid-pack, leaning on each other. Leaning on each other, doing 80 to 90 miles an hour. They are moving. Becky still out front. Can she hold them off and get her first heat win here tonight? A bobble in the middle of 1 and 2. Russell has a run on the high side. Kirk on the bottom. Holy cow, Russell Worth after a 3-month plus absence. Back in the car for the first time, out front. A 3-wide battle. Oh, they are banging on each other. Dakota is loose down to the infield. 3 laps to go. Kirk Marble trying to get underneath Russell Worth. Two to go. Russell on the high side loses some ground. Andrew Thornton has gone to pit road. Kirk Marble, the nose ahead. Kirk clears them into 3, wrecking in 1 and 2. Will it come into play? White flag is out one more time around. Scott Snodgrass stuck in the middle of 3. And Kirk Marble will win heat number 2. Russell Worth comes home second. Edmund in third. Becky held on for 4th. All right, the moment we have all been waiting for, the feature here at Hickory. Cody Kennedy, Kirk Marble on the front row. David Lux and Russell Worth on the second. Chris Johnson and Edmund Jones have the third row. Andrew Thornton and Becky Snodgrass on the fourth. Ryan Hewitt, Dakota Wilson round out your top 10. Kyle McRicken Martin starting in 11th, next to Brad Ronning in 12th. Ryan McDaniel in 13th, Richie Joplin in 14th. Vern Springs starts in 15th, Andrew Thornton in 16th. Brandon Murphy, Scott Snodgrass, and Matt Moniak round out the field. Cody Kennedy and Kirk Marble are teammates. Starting on the front row, that could be a problem for everybody else. David Lux dropping to the tail end. And our apologies, we will have everything back up to 1080 by tomorrow night. Not sure what has gone wrong tonight that it isn't. Here we go. Pace car is in. Cody Kennedy leads them off. Green flag is in the air. The feature at... Holy cow, they are side by side. Throughout the field, one car breaks away. 3 wide into 3 already. That was close as Becky came across Dakota's nose. Dakota loose into 1. Brandon Murphy comes flying by. Oh, Cody Kennedy completely sideways and saved it. Chris Johnson has snuck his way up into the lead. David Lux has had a problem behind. Kyle McRicken Martin, the points leader, coming in, has his nose in. Oh, and he's starting to blink. Edmund Jones has caught up to Cody Kennedy for the moment. Austin Thornton has 5th, Kyle Martin in 6th. Russell Worth holds 7th, Hewitt in 8th, Ryan McDaniel in 9th, and Matt Moniak already into the top 10. Cody Kennedy is going way up the track, and Edmund Jones to 3rd. Meanwhile, Chris Johnson and Kirk Marble put a little breathing room between them and 3rd place Edmund Jones. Kirk's going to utilize it. He looked underneath, couldn't get there yet. Russell Worth in 7th, his first race back since before Christmas. Matt Moniak up into 9th, trying to gain as much ground as possible to get ahead of McRicken. But McRicken holds on to 5th. But Kyle's connection is wonky tonight. For the moment, everybody is single file. Brandon Murphy now looks underneath Ryan McDaniel for 10th. Andrew Thornton now up into 14th. Scott Snodgrass has Scott up to 16th, has gotten past his wife Becky in 17th. One of Becky's best runs so far here tonight, if she can fight her way back to where she... Caution! Caution is out. Dakota Wilson involved. Our first caution of the night. Dakota underneath Ryan just pushes up a little bit. Richie right behind has nowhere to go. Dakota, it did get rolling again, but it looks like he is going to be at least 1, potentially 2 laps down. Chris Johnson still has the lead. Kirk Marble in 2nd. Edmund Jones 3rd. Cody Kennedy 4th. Kyle Martin in 5th. Austin Thornton in 6th. Russell Worth 7th. Brian Hewitt in 8th. Matt Moniak in 9th. Brandon Murphy in 10th. We have seen a lot of bumping tonight, but in these cars, definitely not the same impact we saw out of the Legends cars. These cars are bigger, longer, wider. Can take a heck of a lot more banging. Lights go out on the pace car as they stack back up for the restart. Chris Johnson once again in control. Out of turn 4, pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Chris gets an amazing launch. Edmund Jones underneath for second. And Kyle McRacken Martin up in the mix. Starting to blink just a little bit again. Oh, we saw one car, I believe that was Richie Joplin, getting loose back there. He has recovered it. Vern Spring has had a problem back behind. Caution is back out. Austin Thornton, Matt Moniak involved. Brandon Murphy appears to be involved. Looks like quite a few drivers were caught up in this one. There's Austin Thornton on the high side. Oh, comes down just a little tap from Cody, and they pile in behind. Matt Moniak tried to check up, but the cars behind pushed, and just a bad chain reaction. And it did look like Andrew Thornton got the worst of this in the 31. Murphy gets into him. He gets turned around. Holy cow! Someone on Cody Kennedy's team remind him that is a car, not a plane. Well, all of that just happened. Don't forget, we have all these type of incidents on the YouTube channel. All those YouTube shorts are all the craziness you see on track. And we will have more. We have more coming out all night tonight, all day tomorrow. I bet you see these on Wednesday or Thursday. Pace car is in. Chris fires there away. Green back in the air. And McRacken underneath for second. Oh, Russell Worth gets a little bit of a push almost into Kirk Marble. Scott Snodgrass closing in, as is David Lux. Russell is around, right in front of Hewitt. Caution. Our third caution of the night, Russell Worth is towed to pit road. There's Russell off into 1 and 2, pushed up and tried to pull the car back down. Hewitt had nowhere to go. Brandon Murphy managing to back out of it. But it looks like Worth's car likely torn up. I'm guessing Russell had likely some wheel or handling damage after those multiple impacts. Andrew Thornton has been waved back to the lead lap. Chris Johnson, Kyle Martin, Edmund Jones, Scott Snodgrass, David Lux, your top 5. Ryan McDaniel, Matt Moniak, Brad Ronning, Austin Thornton, and Cody Kennedy, your top 10. Kyle Martin in 2nd, Matt Moniak back in 7th. Those are the 2 battling for the championship. And it may have just gotten easier for Moniak. It appears McRacken has lost connection. A bit of a heartbreak for Kyle, but a breath of relief for Moniak. They stack back up for the restart. Russell Worth is back out on track. A couple of laps down. Pace car in. Green back in the air. Once again, Chris gets an amazing start. David Lux already on the attack. Looking underneath Scott. Matt Moniak now up into 5th, trying to take 4th. There is some bumping. Ryan McDaniel trying to fight his way forward, banging doors with Austin Thornton. David Lux now in 3rd. Scott and Moniak battle for 4th. Ryan McDaniel trying to move back up. Ryan already up 6 spots into 7th. Brian Hewitt in 8th, Cody Kennedy in 9th, Brad Ronning having a great run into the top 10. Richie Joplin and Dakota Wilson battling, neither driver on the lead lap at the moment. Chris Johnson out front, half a second on Edmund Jones. David Lux in 3rd. Scott holds off Moniak. Caution is back out. Austin Thornton and Ryan McDaniel involved. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Austin had to check up to not get into Moniak. Ryan right on his bumper. And as they began to check up and wreck, the dominoes begin to fall back behind. Hey, good evening, Thanos. Becky Snodgrass getting waved back to the lead lap, currently in 12th. Becky getting better and better, faster and faster every single week. Expect to see her battling for wins in the next season. Be just over 20 to go when the green flag drops. Chris Johnson, Edmund Jones on the front row. Scott and David Lux on the second. Hewitt and Moniak on the third. Cody Kennedy, Brad Ronning, Andrew Thornton, and Vern Spring round out your top 10. Remember, Andrew Thornton was a lap down not that long ago. Now back up into the top 10. As the pace car drops in, green flag back in the air, 21 to go at the line. Oh, David Lux fighting hard for second. Got loose out of 2. Kept his foot in it. Moniak fighting his way forward. Now up into 4th. McRecken out of the race. He is going to fight his way forward. I stand corrected. McRecken came back. The battle is on for 3rd place between Moniak and Edmond. Kyle Martin now scored in 19th place. Meanwhile, out front, Chris Johnson is running away. Moniak currently up 15 spots, is the biggest mover of the race. He will pick up some bonus points for that, but if he can get the win, that could put him back at the top of the points. But Chris Johnson, 1.5 second lead over Edmund Jones, David Lutz, and Matt Moniak. Scott Snodgrass still lurking, battling with Cody Kennedy for 5th. Oh, Hewitt's around. A complete 360 and keeps her going. Kirk Marble right behind. Brian slides up right onto the nose, spins down, hits the wall, takes off. Does lose a lot of track position though. Chris Johnson will be in trouble here shortly. He has a 1.7 second lead, but is going to be in lap traffic. Edmund starting to pull away in second. Matt Moniak now clear into 3rd. 10 laps to go for Chris Johnson. He is definitely hoping this thing stays green. Chris Johnson about to be into the lap traffic. Can Edmund Jones and Matt Moniak capitalize on it? Andrew Thornton has fought his way back up into 6th, battling with Scott for 5th at the moment. Oh, Andrews around. Caution! Caution is back out with 7 laps to go. Becky Snodgrass also had an incident. Becky in the Nerds car on the bottom as the leader. Chris Johnson just moves her out of his way. Looking down on the blimp, I may have misspoke. No, he just drives up under and sends her around. Then the incident with Andrew Thornton as he battles with Scott, just pushes up, bounces off of Scott, and ends up in the grass. This did get Richie Joplin back to the lead lap in 12th. Becky Snodgrass did toe to pit road A heartbreak. Becky was battling for a top 10 finish. Chris Johnson, Edmund Jones up front. Green-white checker time. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Chris clears traffic. Edmund coming down. Almost got the nose of Moniak. Out of turn 4. White flag is in the air. One more time around for Chris Johnson. Edmund all the way to the apron trying to get a run. It wasn't enough. And Chris Johnson will pull off the win at Hickory. Edmund Jones comes home in second. Matt Moniak finishes in third. Moniak also the biggest mover, and with Kyle Martin's connection problems, might have put him back in the championship hunt. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with the Maniac. Matt, top 3, biggest mover, definitely did what you needed to do tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice points night. I'll cut the gap a little bit on McRecken. I hate to gain points like that on him, but internet connection is part of it, so I'll take whatever points I can get.
Well, it's definitely going to help, man, but you're fighting your way to the front tonight. That was the biggest one.
Yeah, I was more about just not taking any BS. I drove over my head a little bit. Thank you to the guys that gave me a little bit of room there. Scott for being patient with me. Without them, being a little bit more aware, I wouldn't have finished where I finished. So I got to really, applaud them for cutting me a break.
Well, man, you pulled off a great finish tonight. Congratulations. Great podium.
Thank you, sir.
Matt comes home in third. Edmund comes home in second. Edmund, it was obvious you were trying anything you could those last 2 laps. You went all the way to the apron trying to get the run off of turn 2.
I mean, it's been so long since I've been in victory lane that, I'm getting hungry for it. And I wouldn't expect less out of Chris if he was in my position and he knew I was coming for it. So it's always great racing with him. He's a great competitor. But he knew if I had the shot, he's getting the bumper. And I just couldn't get the bumper to him.
Well, he definitely ran like a scared rabbit for sure, man. But a great job. Another second place. A great night.
A great night, and can't thank you enough for everything you do here on How to Suck at iRacing, the admin team, Edwards Racing Setups, Kendrick, Kyle, Chris, Austin. They give us great setups every week. It's been an amazing season, and hey, I'm hoping I can get on the podium next week as well.
I hope so. Good luck and congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner, Chris Johnson. Chris, it's been a while since you've been in victory lane, buddy. Great job.
Hey, yeah, it's been a while. I finally got some time off of work so I could actually run another race.
It got a little bit wild there, and you had to move a lap car to get it done.
Yeah, I was going to go around the outside of her, and then she came up, and then I was like, I'll throw down in the bottom, and then she came down, and when she came down, my nose was already down there. So, it was unfortunate. I hate having to do that. I'd rather just be a nice, smooth, green race, but yeah, unfortunate.
I have to ask, how much were you watching the mirror on those last couple laps?
Actually, the biggest time was when I had that 65 behind me. I could not keep my mind off that mirror. But I know Ed was going to send me every chance he got. I it was all going to be in how I reacted to it to see if he could get me to spin around. But I would have expected it. That's how I like to be ran, a little bit on the rough side. Don't expect anything to be given to me.
Well, man, a great job. Great to see you back in victory lane. Congratulations, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Doug. Thank you for what you do.
My pleasure. Chris Johnson gets the win at Hickory. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, the X-Count All-Star event and our final X-Count broadcast. A lot of great racing to come later in the week as well. And, of course, you never know when we'll have some exciting streams going on during the day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.